Hey, another edition of the Mac and the Moose Show. Mac, how we doing?
Not too bad. I will say this is actually episode 10 of all the shows. We made it to double digits.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a little shaky. We were kind of, I don't know if canceled's the right word, but we got canceled kind of like
Yeah, it was bad. Everyone was a
showing
little
some,
soft.
just showing a few guys who were underdressed and a few other guys who were in relationships where they were not comfortable being, so to speak. But yeah, episode 10. So it's a pretty big episode. There's a lot to get to. I think we should just jump right into it.
All right. Scores from this week. Me versus Mitchell. This one really sucked for me. um I thought I had
Oof.
it. When Devontae was didn't have as many points. He had that last catch for a touchdown that just absolutely screwed me, but it was a good battle.
Yeah, this was definitely, I would say, game of the. Obviously, it wasn't our game of the week, but it came down to like the game, year cold type of game, um, and not to mention huge matchup in the middle of the West Division for some seeding playoff projections. So yeah, I guess Mac, how do you feel? You took the loss, but how do you feel about your team overall?
Oh, not bad at all. Only AJ Brown putting up only 3. That was kind of tough. But when T Higgins went down, that kind of hurt me pretty bad. So besides that, everyone else kind of showed up. I wish AJ Dillon would get a little bit more, but I feel pretty confident in the team already. It's gonna suck coming up next week though. Got the bye weeks for I know Josh Jacobs. I think one other person, but it's gonna be a tough going into the next one. But we'll get into that in a minute.
I guess the other thing we should probably mention about this matchup is obviously a pretty big trade Thursday, like almost 8 o'clock, so about before the first game started, and took a big risk in trading his first round draft pick, I believe the third overall, for Russell Wilson, who's injured. Um, and that's kind of one theme I wanted to talk about is the depth of certain teams. And when I look at team, for example, um, this week you got to look at his bench. Amari Cooper, I don't know why the fuck he benched did. Um, so I think he's going to figure that out. He'll put him back in the lineup, and then you have Cordell Patterson, who will get healthy at some point. So, guys, I think you got to look at Mitchell's strong team moving forward, and even yourself. You got bye weeks coming up, but you have someone like Olave who will huge bye week fill in. And then Cam Akers much, but at least he's a backup running back. So the West has been kind of all week, but I would say these two teams middle of the mix, and they have pretty deep benches, so that'll be a huge thing
Ooh,
moving forward.
yeah. I wish I would have won, but we'll see. It's gonna be it's still got a lot of games
Yep,
left in the season.
definitely.
So Logan versus Josiah. This was our game of the week. I did not think that old Patty Mahomes was gonna put up that 37 spot. That kind of once Waller wasn't doing anything, I thought Logan was gonna be able to pull it off, but unfortunately,
Well, and Renfro didn't do shit either.
it was not a good showing here. Trevor Lawrence 9 points. He names
Yeah,
his team Geno Smith Revenge Tour and then doesn't even put Geno
he
Smith
benches
in.
him. Yeah, this was
Jeez.
definitely one of those matchups. You kind of looked at it as uh, in a way, I think Logan, fucked himself by not playing. Obviously, even you look at his defense. He benches the defense, which wasn't a terrible move, given that they're playing the Rams and the Mets are playing the Jets. But that's a 23-point swing right there. Um, Again, I'm going to make this a pretty big theme for this week, but I look at depth of team. We're getting into the bye weeks and injuries. And I look at a team like as much as this loss hurts, he's got Hopkins coming back from suspension. He's got Geno Smith on his bench. I think that provides some depth. Wilson, who will be replaced when 49ers get healthy, but still, his depth looks good. Josiah, I think, is got some pretty big decisions to make given position. He's got Elliott still in the starting lineup, but Pollard is the better. I think Logan has the advantage with that. Obviously, Josiah has the advantage this week, and he moves into a pretty on the East and should be inside looking on the outside for play position. So congrats to Josiah.
Both moving to 3 and 2.
Yep.
Next up, Carter versus Walt. Carter, buddy, tough go of it, my man.
Yeah. I got shit out for saying that Carter's team was a little bit overwritten and had some pretty big flaws, and I think proved that right from the start. Walt shit all over Carter. Carter's team, as I mentioned, I mean, his starting lineup, and it's kind of gross. Like, there's nobody on his team I like. And we'll talk to him in a minute, but his entire team is just hard to look at. I don't.
Well,
I don't see.
But really, though, I will say, not just because he's going to be a guest on here, but I think the two positions you change is J.K. Dobbins and Romeo Dobbs. But besides that, I mean, Jamar Chase is good, Kareem Hunt's good, Lamar Jackson's going to put up 50, but it's those rest of those players that are just going to kind of drag you down a little bit when some of these guys are focusing on wide receivers.
He takes Dobbins as he put in because he's got no running backs, 0. Edmonds is in. He takes Dobbs out, and his options are Bateman, who I don't know if he was hurt or just didn't play. He got a 0. Boyd 3. Gallup got 4. So again, my whole depth, okay, and with bye weeks and you're gonna have to use 2-3 guys in your bench, and I don't in any way in hell that Carter can over some of the backup on his roster. And instantly I look at Walt and I see the same thing. Connor for the Cardinals been injured, not great. Parker is not. I don't know why you're even rostering him. Walt Madison, it's a handcuff, but you do own Cook since Deshaun Watson. He'll come back. I get that. But Burkhead, I guess that's my whole theme for this week is East looks great because the records are fine, but these teams don't have any depth. And to get to play some of these teams when they're 2 to 3 guys out on bye, have to fucking play Rex Burkhead, Walt. Good luck with that, bud. That's my whole theme.
Rex Burkhead, you ever heard of him?
God, Kyle. God damn.
Justin versus Eddie. This I did not see this one coming.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't think it was going to be this bad of a blowout, but I thought it was going to be a lot closer.
So Justin, his team, his studs, I guess you could say, stepped up. Eckler is starting to kind of come into his own. Brady and staff, they weren't great. They at least provided some assistance. I mean, his kicker gets him 18 points. But I think, again, the fact that Eddie's team is not very good. I mean, as good as a win of it, it's Eddie's team is terrible. He in the funny part about this week is he had his two best or his two biggest performers, Calf and Lockett, and that's not going to keep happening. I think the Seahawks are a flawed team. Matt Ryan got him 6.0. Eddie's got a huge gap in his second quarterback. I'm going to go back to depth, but I just don't see how you look at Eddie's team and you can say, well, he'll the void. His depth is better than others. He's got a bunch of just average players and no studs, so he's going to have tough lineup decisions. Justin's team, I don't know why you're Julio Jones, Justin. You should drop him. Juju Souser was a terrible draft pick. You have 2 tight ends that are absolutely trash. And then you're running 2 defenses. Why are you rostering 2 defenses? So, again, I keep bringing it up, but depth-wise, Justin Cincinnati's teams are a complete mess moving forward.
I think, with Eddie though, if he had some average players, he's playing someone in the East, then he might be all right.
No,
But
I'd agree. I'd agree. I think Eddie's team is good
So-
enough to avoid Shadow Realm and maybe sneak into the playoffs because he does. To be honest, he's got a few guys on his bench that he can at least plug and play. I think that's a good point, Mac. I just think he's unrealistic about some of the guys in his team, as far as trade bait and things like that. Like Eddie should be making trades and using some of his depth, but he's unrealistic, so that probably won't happen.
we'll see. My man Moose putting up 165 this week. The team is clicking.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. For the first time all year, I was alone on a Sunday. Nobody came over, and it was pretty fun to hang out and just watch Josh Allen and co. I had almost 100 points by the halftime of the 1 o'clocks. So yeah, I mean, my team is coming in their own. Got, I would say, lucky getting Taysom Hill off the waiver wire or last second and putting him into my lineup, but. Again, I'm going to go back to depth. Though Bill lost, I think Bill has a ton of depth. I think his team will be completely fine. And I look at my team, and I think I have enough depth where I think these are 2 teams. And again, we'll talk about the West a lot when we look at standings, but the West might be looked upon as a division with stronger records. But, I mean, my bench 5, 18, 16, 6, 0 for Pitts because he's injured, Herbert because he's a backup. But everybody else, their job. And the Eagles team, Swift is hurt. He'll get healthy. Tua's hurt. He'll get healthy. Elijah Moore is average, but he'll be fine. And then ETN. So, again, these are 2 teams that, as you'll agree with me in the West, the West is a lot stronger than people would probably give it credit. So
my only thing is, with your team, we need some more production out of these wide receivers. I mean, you had St. Brown. He was putting on a great show at the beginning of the year. Now he's just kind of flying under the radar. And
yep.
I mean, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Rush is throwing the ball. He's just not getting any receptions. What's going on there?
No, I mean, I think watch the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb is definitely like their vocal point of the passing game. I just think he's going to put up like the Jefferson type of numbers for the Vikings or the Cup type of numbers for the Rams. But I'm happy with his production. It wasn't the greatest week. St. Brown's and I also asked Bill to set my lineup, and Bill said these are my best players.
Oh, that is true.
No. But all honesty, St. Brown was kind of tell you on the snap count. I kind of wish that he just gets him getting held out for a week or 2 to get him healthy. But then I look at my bench, and a guy like Gabe Davis should probably be my lineup moving forward, and then Curtis Ivy. So yeah, that's one thing that I'll have to manage my roster better moving forward. I'll put it that way.
Not a bad showing though. Points leader for the week.
Finally.
And then lastly, we got the Teddy versus Kyle. Kyle he's having some tough times, man.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I was pumping. If you remember last week, I was pumping Kyle's tires. Kyle had a team that could kind of overcome some of the injuries, and then was I the only one that was shocked that he Cooper Rush to add
Cooper Rush and picked up Andy Dalton. Yeah.
And Cooper Rush did terrible. I'm not saying he was moving point wise. But I just didn't understand that. I guess I just don't understand that. But anyways, consistent. He's consistent. He found a way to win. Jalen Hurts is been one of the steals of the draft. Kyle is kind of in a tough spot. I mean, he's got we're talking about depth. He's got decent because he's got Dak on his bench. He's got Brees Hall. Even Thielen, I think, is a tradable piece. I think Kyle needs to package some of these players together and get himself one or two more solid positions. Teddy, on the other hand, he is in pure survival. I don't know if you looked at his bench, Mac, but he got Keenan Allen on his bench, Elijah Mitchell on his bench, injured. Montgomery he got this week and did fine, but he has kept team. But I think he just fine. So I don't know. What do you think about the top of our division, which has been so much shit talked about it, and Kyle's the bottom of our division. So how do you see kind of two teams shot as we move forward?
So Teddy's always, I think Teddy's gonna Teddy. The dude just always puts up, somehow finds a way to win. He's consistently doing that throughout the years of fantasy football. Kyle, this year it's tough, just because if Jared Goff isn't going off, then T.J. Hawkinson isn't going off, and so now that he traded and got him, it's just causing a lot of problems there, especially when you're going to go against a good defense, and that's where the real problem is. You can't really rely on a. I know he's a Detroit fan, but you can't rely on that because you know you're not going to be getting those points from Drake London or Alan Lazard that they should be getting. I mean, that's kind of going to be like the average amount of numbers you're going to see there. But I don't know. I liked, yeah. I feel like we both are. Every 1 week we like Kyle's team, the next week we don't like Kyle's team.
Yeah, it's up and down.
It's just a tough one to see. But I think Teddy he's a competitor. Kyle, it might just not be his year. But again, we're only 5 games into this. We got a lot of football left.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
So now for the standings, I feel like these East boys are just going to be taking a dive down here pretty quickly.
One thing about the standings that is not shown on the screen, but if you don't believe me, take a look for yourself. The West. Do you know who has the least amount of points for?
Least amount of points for? Probably me.
You'd be wrong.
Who's
Teddy.
it, Bill? Really? Holy cow.
Teddy's points for Teddy is 114. Bill, who's in second, is 543. Mitchell's next, third place, 523. You're all the way up to 538. Up to 610, and even 540. Now, again, fantasy is a week-by-week sport, saying that Teddy doesn't deserve his first place. But again, we kind of talk depth and injuries and things moving forward. Trend-wise, Teddy is surviving, which is kind of scary. Actually, if you ask me, Teddy is the least amount plus 4-1. So, yeah, it's interesting looking at that. And then in the East, kind of screams fraud is Logan, or not? Excuse me, not Logan. Is I was going to say Logan least amount of points against. However, the East is pretty much straight up. So has the most points for. Logan second, Josiah's third, Carter's fourth, fifth, and Justin sixth. Kind of goes right down the line. So
yeah,
the East is a little bit more straightforward, where the West is wide open, and I think that'll make it very interesting moving forward.
and I will say, Logan tried to throw me another trade. I don't know if probably 2 nights ago he tried again. The boy is just trying to trade away that entire team. He had something good going, and now he's just breaking apart piece by piece. He's acting like he just bought a company. He's trying to sell it off for parts. It's bad.
Mac, let me put it this way: if you technically did not draft your team, right? Let's just say some weird thing missed the draft, right? And you bitched all preseason how much you hated your team. you threaten to not pay your league dues and your league transaction fees, and then your team do an early season like hot start, would you not feel like you didn't deserve it? Therefore, like that's what Kyle did, right? When Kyle won your guys' league championship, he took the team I drafted, got off to a great start, heard all the bullshit, or not the bullshit, but heard all the rumors, said they were bullshit, traded his whole team just so he could even draft this team. I've traded for everybody who I've got. So I
That
think
is
Logan's in the same.
That's a good point, but the team that was drafted, immediately he was already talking about where he was projected, everything like that. He was pumped for it. He came out, he started getting wins, and then next thing you know, he's out here just giving people away. It feels like he's just trying to trade for every person. It feels like you do make a good point, but I just don't think he sees it that way. I think he's got a hot start here, and so now he's just trying to capitalize on something that I don't even know what he's trying to capitalize on. But if he does it, he's going to get rid of his team, and it's gonna be heartbreaking. Biggest downfall.
Well, Mac, I guess I'll ask you based on the same situation you just mentioned, retiring, so maybe you don't have as much to hide. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Do you ever feel like that? Where like when jumps out, let's say to whether it's a good or bad start, but you look at your team and you like your team, they're deep, you have a strong team. Sometimes making that early season trade actually ends up, even if you get the better player, your team gets. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes like it
Yeah,
actually hurts your team making too quick of a decision. You know, two of the guys in our league that refuse to trade are Teddy and Carter, and they have consistently been the top of their divisions and won a lot. So I guess my question is, do you sometimes feel like some guys like Logan trade too early, trade too quickly, and make big mistakes, getting rid of guys? Just
we're in week 6. Like for
yeah,
me, that's like you're like we just got done with week 5. Why are you like? There's a lot of time left, and these players are going to come around and do it. You drafting those people for a reason. That's how I look at it. I wouldn't just be drafting a guy just to draft a guy. So like you can't just go straight George Steinbrenner on them, and if they don't perform in the first 2 weeks, you send them packing. Like we got to, give them a chance here. It's a long season. And if you're already at the top, why would you start trading people away?
I like that 100%.
All right, now for the Moose lock of the week.
So obviously last week, unfortunately, I did not know playing a tight end at quarterback, and the over stood no chance. I apologize for that. The my current standings stand at 2-2 in the year. This week, I'm taking the Colts -2. This has a line written all over it. Like I feel like as the Colts lost the Jags earlier, and the Jags decent games in a row. This is why that line isn't. It should be more like 7.5. Everything was equal, but yeah, I love the Colts. I hope that those that followed my lock last week aren't afraid to get in this journey. But love the Colts -2.5 at home. I think that's just too easy of a pick. Let's hope Taylor plays, and it should be a pretty easy win.
All right, and so now let's bring in old Carter Laytard here. Hold on. All right.
What's up, boys?
What's up, Carter?
Not
So
much.
stuck around for the show. I know that you've got some things to say about Bill's team here. So are you guys just looking? You got any questions for him right now, or do you want to get in and? 'Cause I know that this is going to be the first game for week 6. Please,
Yeah, I was
Carter,
just
as we pop this up here,
Against
look
Bill.
at Bill's team
Uh-huh.
here.
Matt, you said he had in regards to but the biggest in our league is the quarterback, and he is.
I think we're having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I can't really hear Carter. Can you? No, you're in and out, Carter. It sounds like.
Well, while Carter figures that out, I'll go in. I think he was starting to go in on his quarterback situation. Another thing with I did these projections before I did it yesterday, so a lot of these points up here, seeing that Tua is going to be up there, is going to be a problem. And now with old Teddy Bridgewater going down, what do you do?
No, I mean Bill's in a world of hurt. Like I think Bill needs to be realistic about his team right now, and needs to understand the fact that he is kind of taking on. Like, I don't know where this whole Bill and Carter rivalry came from, but Bill has taken over Carter's team name. And that's the QB killer. Like, Bill needs to sit back, relax, and understand that his team has a chance to be really, really good when they get healthy, but like he can't keep surviving these injuries. He needs to consult Carter rather than insult Carter and figure out, hey, how do I overcome what's going on, which is I just keep killing quarterbacks. I mean, Bill is in a world of hurt. I don't care how you look at quarterback-driven league, and Bill has zero quarterback. Mayfield is not a quarterback. I get why he traded Russell, but at the same time, Bill, terribly. You didn't draft enough depth quarterback. Tua got hurt, I understand that, but you need to figure out the quarterback position, or else you're going to be in a world of hurts. Bill, figure it out.
So his projections dropped from 94 to, I believe, 78. This is going to be great for me because I am going in a bye week with Josh Jacobs on a bye week. I forget who else. I think I have Ryan Tannehill. Is he on a bye week this week?
Tight.
Possibly someone else has one. I forget who it was, but so this is coming at a great time for me. I'm really excited. If I feel bad saying it, but I'm expecting a victory this week. So really looking forward to that. Going to jump to 3-2, tie Bill up in the West. I'm going to feel really good about it.
It makes you feel any better? I had it. Bill scored 45 points against. I had one player in Josh Allen who scored more points than him. So, as long as your studs don't become duds, and Bill doesn't find a quarterback, which it does, he will. Mac, you're gonna kind of Bill, and you'll feel that much better about your team and kind of spiraling as he figures out his quarterbacks.
And I'm hoping Stephon Diggs goes off for 50 right now alone. So I'm looking forward to that. But next game up, Eddie versus Logan. This is another good little matchup. I kind of like this. I like he now if he puts Geno Smith back in his lineup, we're going to show that maybe ain't right back, whatever that means. And I'd like if someone could maybe leave that in the comment section or maybe text in the group chat what ain't right back means.
I think what it means is Geno Smith had a comment that basically all of his haters haven't or something about writing to his haters, and regardless, all of that said is the fact that these two, Logan and then Eddie, made a huge deal with a bunch of their players. But look at the fact if they traded it, and You traded Trevor Lawrence, who's been Matt Ryan, has been just bad. In the barrel teams. I mean, that's the simple way. Stop saying this is good when two of the guys you're looking at are Logan, okay, who didn't even fucking draft this team, and Eddie, who is so unrealistic about his team that he sends these outrageous trade things, and they're both just terrible teams. Let's stop talking about the East as this huge juggernaut of these great teams. Now, two of the teams that are facing off. Matt Ryan is your second highest. He's projected 14 points. 14. That's terrible. Let's just stop the whole bullshit about the East being this strong. Eddie, your team's terrible. Logan, your team's terrible. The East is weak. Let's stop this whole bullshit that the East. Who makes the East strong? Eddie makes
coming in hot.
I'm saying, okay, so who's good? Carter, you're back. Who makes the East strong?
Hear me?
Eddie?
Yeah.
Now. Who makes the East strong?
I mean, look at our teams. To the standings, Matt. Start up points for earlier. Yeah, you have 600. Give you third place in the East.
Okay, so
I mean, you
Carter,
say your team. Oh. Go ahead.
You were kind of jumping in and out. That's why I stopped. But again, I'm talking about Logan and Eddie. These are supposed to be two great teams, right?
I never said they're great.
They're above you.
No, they're not. Not above me.
As far as the standing,
He's 2-3. I'm 3-2, Matt.
okay, so they're Logan's above you, Eddie's below. Okay, I get that. Well,
Above me,
I
we're
guess
both 3-2.
Okay. My only point is that we need to stop. Like the East is looked upon for what's great division, and you have so much bias of, for whatever reason, people think Logan's team is good. People think J-Mac's good because he's one chip. People think Josiah's team is. And I'm not saying you guys don't have good, but I'm just saying we're looking at Logan and Eddie is two teams not awful playing each other, and at the end of the day, two teams is going to win this game. And we're going to turn around on Tuesday, and we're going to say how good the East is because two teams beat up on the other shit team. Let's just remember this. Just remember this as we fast to Tuesday of the next week. Because Logan's going to. What's that?
Too much in this matchup. This is not a good matchup. Let's just move on.
Okay, fine.
Oh, okay. Let's move on to the next matchup, which is Walt versus Justin.
Another East fucking matchup. God damn. I've said my piece. I'll let you keep this one.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, you're talking about the guy who did get a win. He's jonesing for more wins, I guess. But this is another guy who's 0-4 to start this off the whole season. You have Eddie. You have Logan, who's trading his team away for parts, like he's getting money from it.
Obviously, Justin, if he can go to 2-4, and then Walt drops to 3-3, I mean, Shadow Realm, yes, but we right back into playoff contention.
How the fault leading the so again? I'm getting pissed because this is bullshit. You want the East being this great division. Walt is your division leader, and his quarterbacks are Cousins and Marcus Mariota. Are you fucking kidding me? That's so bad. That's that. All right, Walt.
It's week 5. Or week 6.
That's bad.
Now. All right, let's go to the West.
Let's go
So
on to
we
the
got
next game, Mac.
we got Teddy on Mitchell here. If Russell Wilson can do anything, let's just hope to God. But this West Division matchup, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Mitchell with his 3 quarterbacks as his top performers. It's gonna be
Carter, what do you have to say about this matchup?
I'm looking at 2 teams that are below 100. You said the well. Obviously, Teddy's a juggernaut. Look at his a hell of a combination. I don't really look at your guys' teams that on the East.
Teddy's the worst team in our conference in our division.
You can't just go by points for.
You kind of have to at least.
I mean,
bit.
it's a W. It's a W. Teddy was 7-6 when he won the championship. It doesn't matter what your record is as long as you make the play. In my opinion. No, he always does. Mitchell, that trade, he gives away Taylor and picks up Wilson. I really
terrible trade.
Yeah, it was a horrible trade for both. I'm pulling up their.
just trading to trade right there. It was very dumb.
Teddy, obviously,
How about Kyle?
favorite here. Kyle and you.
Kyle's team. Not
That's
a single one of quarterbacks are in his top 3 projected scores.
That's bad news for him. That sounds like an easy W. Wow. You talk about how bad the East is. You're a team that the projections, the quarterback is even in. I don't know what you're talking about, Matt. That's bad. 80.
That's one team.
Yeah, and that's nothing that is injured. And to Kyle's credit, he's at least like somewhat fought and who fucking sits back and gets fucking pounded every and says, "I'm gonna stick with guys." That's the East for you. Hey, you know, I'm liking this at this. You know, I kind of hope this league maybe adopts is maybe a little bit of an East versus West rivalry, and maybe that's one thing. Hey, committee, let's talk to you guys directly. Maybe moving forward, we should put like I don't know, $50, $100 aside of our initial buy-in, and that could be distributed between the division winners. Say the East, you know, someone from the East, the West of the East division gets, I don't know, $10, $15. That would kind of be one fun thing to throw in. And I know the divisions are going to change next year, so maybe next year is the perfect time. But that might be one fun thing is to kind of feel a little bit more pride in your own conference, your own division moving forward. So,
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'll take it to the committee and see what they say. Like that.
appreciate it.
All right, now for the game of the week. It is an East Division matchup between Carter and Josiah. This is a 3-2. Let's see who takes the cake here.
Yeah, my team is Williams going out. He didn't here, but I mean he was projected to be him tearing his ACL. My running backs are bad. Dobbins needs to get it. She can rely on to give me about 5 to 10 points, but Chase and Waddle have been a couple weeks. And to answer your question, Matt, last week, that's why he was on my bench.
Who was there?
Yeah, he was there. Now, I believe in my team. I think all my players had down weeks where one week here and there somebody does great, but I've just been. But we'll turn around here against Josiah.
Who are you picking in this matchup?
I think I'm probably going to go with Carter. Patrick Mahomes playing Buffalo. That's going to be a tough matchup. Um, he's got Darren Waller already questionable. I just don't like it. Burrow playing the Saints. I'm going to take Carter in this one.
Burrow going back to LSU territory though, that's dangerous. He could have a breakout game.
Yeah, I'm going to take Josiah. I'm going to take Josiah, and I'm going to say it's going to be a whomping. Josiah's going to win by about 30 to 40. That's my guess. So, Patrick Mahomes playing. That?
You want to bet on that? The spread? He beats me.
No, I wouldn't spread, but I'll bet that he beats you.
Nah, I'm all right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Josiah. I'm thinking Josiah, and it's not going to be close.
Not even close. Oh.
No. I told you last pod, Carter's team is, and this week's going to do it even more.
Well, with that, I go down to 1-2 on the game of the week picks. I've came up with this damn fucking segment, and I can't even win a fucking game. And we didn't have a guest last week, so it just opens up. Carter, I'll fix your face a little bit more later. But we didn't have a pick, so right now we have Eddie and Josiah 1-0. Carter, I'm hoping you can pull this off for me.
I'll get you in the win category.
The guys are undefeated.
Mac.
So now that we have you back, I know that you wanted to say some things about Bill's team here.
I did. Let me pull. It was horrendous.
Can I ask a question first, Carter? How did this Bill shit talk start? Like, I felt like where all of a sudden Bill was just trying the shit out of you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it started. All of a sudden, Bill was just all of in my shit, so I had to go back at him. We're rivals, which I don't think we were, but now we definitely like that because some of the rivals are questionable, like Matt and rivals.
Who's my rival?
Walt.
Yeah, that's never been a thing. Never will be.
Eddie and Mitchell.
Nothing but respect.
I could see that.
Anybody's.
Justin. It should be Mac and Logan. Be
Kyle or Logan.
Kyle.
One of the two.
Yeah, maybe Kyle.
Well, okay. Can I
I'm in my division.
I'm gonna have to grab my computer charger. I'm gonna have to grab a computer charger in a second, and then Bill. But I want to real quick touch on something. Well, I know that you made this whole schedule thing not a big deal because you found proof that Deeds would have lost because of bench points. But all that shit is bullshit. The fact of the matter was there's a complete flaw in the way you did your scheduling. So you've done it again with whoever made right again. Can't we just sit down as in the league and wall scheduling and don't fuck it up? And then let's whoever else every week just don't fuck it up. Let's put EP lanes and let's get this right because whoever assigned these levels is just bad. It's not right. Matt podcast or Matt assigned himself the podcast producer, and he's fucking got these graphics and these tickers that are unbelievable.
Take some time.
We're gonna hire tomorrow. So let's get our shit together, boys. Mike, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my charger. But Walt, figure it out.
All right.
I'll
What do you
jump
got
in the
about Bills?
As Matt mentioned, his depth is okay. Backs, you got Harris, Etienne, Swift, and I believe that's it. He's trading for the dumbest trade and probably GGL. But I don't understand what his motive in last. He thought Baker was him. Baker obviously got hurt. He was gonna probably get benched.
He's trash.
Yeah.
He's absolute trash.
And then Bridgewater goes down. Tua, he about killed. He made that trade. He had Russell fucking Wilson. Yeah. But it just made no to trade for Taylor.
Oh, looks like Matt left. But no, I don't think with Tua going down, I think his whole team's going down after that, because that's when the whole winds changed. After Tua went down, his whole team started getting real sad.
He's got a lot or two questionable, like hurt too. So yeah, Bill's gonna be violent. I mean, what is his record? I don't even know.
And him and Logan are just forcing trades. Like, they're just trying to smash as many trades as possible right now to try to get them better. They're frantic. Don't know what to do.
You just gotta set your team and just run that. Teddy's pretty good about doing that, and look at our trackways there at the end. So I don't get the whole trading, sending out 10 trades to people. Just
yeah, I don't understand it. Anything else that you have to say? You have the floor.
I don't really have to. Podcasts came a long way. Looks good.
Yeah, it's making the change.
Oh, I look ask higher. I mean, are you gonna is this your or weekly plug into the league, or are you gonna hang it up?
Oh, I don't know. I've thought about that. Maybe stick around and maybe I'll just do some producing and kind of be the outside source here. Hold on, we got the Moose Man back in.
Sorry, my laptop died.
You're all good. No, I thought about it. Maybe I'll stick around. That way I can still watch what's going on in the league and
I asked
podcast after still keep the trash talk going.
Yeah.
That way I can have an outside view of it. An outside opinion looking in.
Smart idea. You and Deeds could, or whoever's in the Shadow Realm next year, I guess it won't be Deeds, could do a spin-off podcast and just be like, so what are you doing with all your free time? And did you see the group chat? Fucking Bill called out Carter. You gotta
another rivalry going on that's probably not going to play each other.
So I must have missed it. What ever happened with Carter and Bill? Rivalry there for what reason?
We don't know. I was just going in on his team. Thompson or Walker. Like, why not drop Baker? One of them. I mean, drop Teddy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Bill's always been a terrible manager. Like, he's been able to identify talent, but like, I'm not sure if you've ever been with Bill around 12:45 p.m. is one of the best. Like, if you ever want confidence in your own 12:45 on a Sunday, he's asking everybody in my basement who should he play, and it just shows you like he does not know how to manage a lineup when it comes down to crunch time. So keep acquiring talent. So that like he keeps trading for Taylor and these great guys, but he's gonna weak because he was somewhat injured, and then Taylor's gonna score 5 touchdowns, and Bill's gonna miss the playoff. Yeah, it's it'll be a fun storyline moving forward.
Watch. I said that.
What's that?
I said
Who's on Chuck?
No quarterback. Bill. You're breaking up.
All right, with that, peace out, guys.
Yeah.
Great show.
See you, boys. Great show.